Imagine being told that your kingdom no longer belongs to you. Imagine an empire so powerful that it controls millions of people and it decides your homeland will simply be taken away. Most rulers would surrender, some would negotiate, but one queen chose something else. She mounted her horse, strapped her son to her back, picked up her sword, and rode straight into battle against the mighty British Empire. This is the story of Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, one of history's most fearless warrior, a woman whose courage became a symbol of resistance, freedom, and sacrifice, and her legendary last stand would inspire generations long after her death. Rani Lakshmi Bai was born in 1828 in the city of Varanasi, India. Her birth name was Manikarnika Tambe. Though family and friends call her Manu, unlike most girls of her time, Manu did not spend her childhood learning only traditional household duties. Instead, she learned horseback riding, sword fighting, archery, and military tactics. She often trained alongside boys and developed a reputation for fearlessness. Stories tell of her riding powerful horses at full speed and practicing combat for hours. Those early lessons would later shape her destiny. At the age of 14, Manu married Maharaja Gangadhar Rao, ruler of the princely state of Jhansi. After marriage, she became known as Lakshmi Bai, named after the Hindu goddess of prosperity and strength. For a time, life seemed peaceful, but tragedy soon arrived. Their infant son died shortly after birth. Years later, as the Maharaja's health declined, the royal couple adopted a young boy named Damodar Rao to become heir to the throne. They hoped this would secure the future of Jhansi, but they were wrong. During the mid-1800s, much of India was controlled by the British East India Company. The company had become one of the most powerful organizations in the world. Its armies conquered territory after territory. One of its controversial policies was known as the Doctrine of Lapse. Under this rule, if a ruler died without a biological male heir, the British could annex the kingdom. Even though Lakshmi Bai and her husband had legally adopted a son, British officials refused to recognize him. When Maharaja Gangadhar Rao died in 1853, the British declared that Jhansi would become British territory. Lakshmi Bai was ordered to surrender control of her kingdom. According to popular accounts, she responded with words that would echo through history: "I shall not surrender my Jhansi." From that moment forward, conflict became inevitable. The queen knew her kingdom was in danger, but she had no intention of giving up without a fight. In 1857, a massive uprising erupted across northern India. Indian soldiers serving the British Army rebelled. Princes, nobles, farmers, and civilians joined the movement. Today, the conflict is often called the Indian Rebellion of 1857 or India's first War of Independence. As chaos spread, Jhansi found itself caught in the middle. British authority weakened. Rebel seized control in many regions. Lakshmi Bai suddenly faced an impossible challenge. She had to protect her people from rebellion, invasion, and political uncertainty all at once. Many expected her to flee. Instead, she strengthened Jhansi's defenses. Cannons were positioned along fortress walls. Soldiers were trained, supplies were gathered, and the queen personally oversaw preparations. Witnesses describe her riding through the city, inspecting troops and encouraging citizens. She was no longer simply a ruler, she was becoming a military commander, and soon she would face one of the most powerful armies in the world. In 1858 of March, British forces under General Hugh Ross marched towards Jhansi. Thousands of soldiers surrounded the city. Heavy artillery began bombarding the fortress. Day after day, cannon fire shattered walls and buildings. The defenders fought back fearlessly. Lakshmi Bai refused to leave. Instead, she moved among her troops, directing defenses and inspiring resistance. As shells exploded around the city, she remained calm. The siege lasted for weeks. Food supplies dwindled, casualties mounted, yet Jhansi continued to resist. British commanders were astonished by the determination of the defenders. Finally, the walls were breached. Enemy soldiers poured into the city. The situation seemed hopeless, but this was the moment that would make Lakshmi Bai a legend. With British troops storming Jhansi, captured appeared inevitable, most leaders would have surrendered. Lakshmi Bai chose something extraordinary. According to popular accounts, she strapped her young adopted son to her back, mounted her horse, and rode through the enemy lines under cover of darkness. Bullets flew, swords clashed, yet somehow she escaped. The image of the warrior queen carrying her child while charging through the danger became one of the most powerful stories in Indian history. Whether every detail happened exactly as later legend described, the impact of the story was enormous. To millions, she became the embodiment of courage itself. But her fight was not over, not even close. After escaping Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai joined the rebel leaders. Together, they captured the strategic city of Gwalior. For a brief moment, victory seemed possible, but British forces quickly launched a counterattack. In June 1858, the final battle began. Lakshmi Bai once again entered combat personally, dressed in military attire and armed with swords. She fought alongside her soldiers. Witnesses describe her as fearless in battle. Even as British troops advanced, she continued fighting. Then disaster struck. During intense combat near Kota Kiserai, she was seriously wounded. Accounts differ on her exactly how she died, but most agree on one thing: she refused to surrender. On June 18, 1858, at just the age of 29 years old, Lakshmi Bai died fighting. General Hugh Rose, her British opponent, later praised her courage, calling her one of the bravest and best military leaders among the rebels. Even her enemies respected her. The rebellion of 1857 ultimately failed. The British retained control of India for decades afterward, but Lakshmi Bai's story refused to die. Over time, she became a national hero. Poems were written about her. Statues were erected in her honor. Movies, books, songs celebrated her bravery. For many Indians, she became a symbol of resistance against oppression, a reminder that courage is not measured by victory alone. Sometimes courage means standing your ground when defeat seems certain. Sometimes it means fighting for what you believe, and sometimes it means mounting a horse, carrying your child into danger, and refusing to surrender your homeland. More than 150 years later, the name of Rani Lakshmi Bai still inspires millions, not because she ruled a kingdom, but because she showed the world what fearless determination truly looks like. And that is why the Queen of Jhansi remains one of the history's greatest legends.
Subscribe Ancient Worlds for more. Like, share, and follow.